Hey everybody, it's your suburban garden permaculture style guy again. Excuse me. I've got a little project I just started a while ago to try to mess with these headlights on this old car, and I did, and I had some really good results. And so I wanted to show y'all what I did and what I'm working with. This is an old Mustang, and these headlights, I mean, when you turn them on, it's like we don't even have headlights in this thing. I mean, they're old. Can you see the clean line in here versus the dirty line? You can actually see through there slightly. It is so bad, you can't even see through these things. Let me try to not show off all of our license plates and everything in the world. You see it, you don't look at it, okay? Thanks. Look at this one I sanded. Oh my goodness. You can see the bulb. I can't even believe it. I'm like, wow, are you serious? I'm actually pretty shocked. Now, it hazes over because it's not really clean. Whenever it's dry, I haven't washed it with soap and water. There's still a lot of like sanded plastic on there, making it look weird. But and you're supposed to spray paint this. There's a channel I watch called Chrisfix. You should check him out if you've never heard of this thing. This dude makes videos so concise and straight to the point and so fast that he covers so much and makes it look so easy. You don't even know the amount of work this guy has helped me to do. I'll show y'all here soon. The whole front end of this truck right here I rebuilt, all the suspension parts. I'm literally made the entire lower A or control arm system set up, the whole upper A arm, the strut and shock itself, the sway bar or stabilizer bar bushings themselves, the sway bar links or stabilizer links, whatever you want to call it, the outer tie rod ends, because the inner tie rod ends would look fine to me. Redid the calipers, the slide pins were nasty, so I fixed those up, greased them all up, and both sides figured out a homemade alignment off of this guy to get it kind of straight before we had to go take and get a professional alignment. And I'll tell you what, that's a brand new front end on this thing. This is what it used to look like. I'll show you. These are some of the parts I took off. This was ridiculous. There was nothing left in these. There's no life left in them, and there could have been no life left in us for driving around on this, right? Ooh, there was a tote the note, you know, look, both ends. That's the sway bar link. That's the entire lower A-arm support frame right there. This is ridiculously huge, heavy part. I put my back out twice in this project. Took 4 or 5 days. First part, side took 4 days because I didn't have all the tools. I didn't have all the understanding what I was doing. I had to put new parts on, have to take them back off to redo something before I did something else first, and this kind of thing. And the second side only took like 4 or 5 hours. So there's a big difference. This is the scary parts right here. This was my upper control arms and the bushings. Okay, this is not how this is supposed to look right here. Let me see if make sure you're seeing that. Yeah, it's not supposed to look like that, guys. On either side, here's what it looks like. The metal thing that was holding the car together. The actual metal sleeve here, as you can see, slides right out. That ain't supposed to do that. So this was flopping around in this, like so. Every time you moved up around, if you went over a speed bump, you're hearing this sleeves were the only things holding these together. The bushings were gone. It's the way it was when we bought it here 18 months ago. We just paid it off, an 18-month note. That was a tote the note. It's the first time we ever did that. And you know, replacing all these parts is the only thing that made it worth it, because this wasn't worth it as it is. Bushings, this was sway bar bushing that these guys are attached to. This is the sway bar bushing links, right? Or the control arm bushing, whatever. This guy connects it back to the other parts. Well, this is the main bushing. It's torn. They're both ripped and shattered. So I replaced all of this. This was like $10,000 worth of work I did for myself for like 450 bucks. This is a upper ball joint. I had to press out. Never pressed out a ball joint in my life. Never pressed in a ball joint in my life. Not a ball joint. I have worked with that kind of stuff in the past at a machine shop. I do have that kind of background of pressing in bearings and things, so I do have some kind of background in it, but I've never done it for a car or for myself. So those are lower ball joints. Look how loose that is. It's not about to be that loose. None of this stuff was any good. All these bushings in here pretty much shot. They're all old and cracked. Everything was bad. These are the shocks and coilovers. Placed all that myself, you guys, off of this guy's videos. You understand? I did all this. Now I do have a background in machine work, but not this. And my kids were even shocked. I made my older one. I didn't make them. They helped me. The older one helped me on one side, and the middle boy helped me on the other side. The other one's too young still, really, to get started, to be interested, I guess. I asked him, I was like, y'all shocked that Dad knows how to do that stuff? And like, yeah, I kind of am. That's the air filter we took off. It's covered in oil and stuff. I mean, we just had to do some work on that car, that truck, and I am so proud of myself, because that is like, again, I got a quote that I still have from National Tire and Battery, a place that does work on cars and does batteries, obviously. for 2 sets of these parts. There are 2 upper control arms on both sides for that one issue, and 2 CV axles, which is something I haven't even replaced yet. Just those 2 sets of parts, they wanted $5,400, and it was going to come out to more than that before you check out. You know how that goes. So, we're looking like $5,500 just for 2 sets of that. I did all of that plus the lower control arm systems, all that, all these bushings, all these ball joints, all this, all that, all the shock. I did all the preloading. The guy showed you how to do it the right way to make sure your suspension's right whenever you set your car back on it. It is an amazing channel to check out. So this dude's giving me a lot of confidence. Look what I did in my hand now. And he's the reason I was able to pull that off. So I do recommend you check out Chrisfix. Young dude, seems like. See how whenever it's starting to dry, it starts to get that little look to it right there. It's not bad or anything, but you can see. I don't want to put the greasy finger on it. I'm going to go to my clean hand. Let's see, I need to get some soap and water on there. Still just a little haze on there. But that's amazing, you know. I want to sit there and set up my camera and show me doing this, but I have a neighbor's out over here, and I don't know if that's okay. I'm not going to do that to him, so I'm going to pause y'all. Oops, sorry. And see if I can get something done, or if I can just do it while I'm holding you. Let's see. I think it's going to be, let's see. Get this thing cleaned off. That was the trick, to use water on all this. Now, what we're using is 2 kinds of sandpaper here. 3,000 grit and 1,000 grit. This is what they had at my Home Depot. They said Chrisfix tells you to get something different, but similarly done like this, and that's what I got. So 1,000 and 3,000 is what's did this so far for me. I'm starting with the 1,000. We're gonna move to the 3,000, which is a lot finer, like notebook paper almost, and get it wet and sand it. This was the 1,000 I used on the other side. I'll probably just use a new piece of 1,000. That's 3,000. This is a new piece of 1,000. My neighbor's back now. I just don't want to get all involved with that. So I'm gonna use this. So I'm gonna come over here. And it looks a lot clearer when wet, but it don't look like that other side at all. So we're going to check that out. Let's see this yellow stuff? That's yellow, old yellowed plastic. I'm trying to shake it. Coming off in the water. Yuck. I mean, even if you just do that little bit, look at all that yellowed plastic coming off. It doesn't do that after you start getting past that part. It's pretty bad. So I'm going to clean this guy up, and then there's a special kind of spray paint you're supposed to get, which I didn't get yet because I didn't know this was going to work this good. Now that this works this good, we're going to be doing it to all our cars. I thought these headlights were shot. I mean, come on, I thought they were shot. To come out like that one over there, this is going to be pretty awesome. So I will update you guys here soon when I get all the cars looking good. Later.